Hello. Questions that are often asked are why do I get so often confused? Why can't I figure it out? Why don't I get it? Why do I feel so blocked? Why aren't I improving or getting better in my awareness? Okay. There is a solution, and it's always the same. The reason you get blocked, the reason you're confused is because you're trying to find answers to something that has no answer. In other words, the mind gets confused, but you're trying to get answers by the mind itself regarding its own confusion, which is of course a vicious circle. Now, there is such a thing as the seer and the seen. Now remember these two, because these can be quite a revelation. The seer and the seen. The seer is the heart and the seen is the mind. Now the difference between the mind and the heart is like the moon and the sun. And the moon can throw a lot of light during the night. It can light up the world, in fact, until we realize that there's no light in the moon. It is borrowed from the sun, the light from the sun. So the moon is like the mind and the sun is like the heart. Okay? The seer is your awareness. I call it the heart. The seer is the heart, the part in you which is aware. When you're confused and you say, I am confused, it means you're aware that you are confused. So if I were to ask you at that moment, which is your real self, which is the greater part, the confusion or the awareness? You see? The awareness again is the seer. The confusion is the seen. What is seen? Anything that happens to the mind is seen by the seer. But what happens in our initial stages, because we haven't woken up spiritually, we identify with the seen and objectify it. And the moment you objectify a state of mind, it becomes very, very real and controls you. But the mind has no power to control you unless you believe it. Okay? Just like we said, the mind is like the moon. It borrows its power from the awareness, which is the heart. The awareness is your true nature, but awareness is not something. It just is. You're a presence. You're aware all the time. You're aware you have a body. You're aware you are walking. You're aware you're listening. You're aware of the environment. If there are any sounds around you, you're aware of them. Awareness is constant and it's always and complete. You see? So the key question is, and I'm repeating it, and when you get this, you'll find that such a relief will happen. Are you the seer or the seen? And of course, the seer is the truth of you. It is the emptiness, the nothingness, the peace, the infinity, the eternality, the timeless state called pure awareness. You see, which is eternal, really. It's always, it's infinite, it's omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. Now, whenever you have a problem, the first thing you do usually is 99% of the time, you try to get rid of it. Or you go and ask and try to think of a solution. Or you think that somebody is going to answer you and give you the solution so that it goes away. No, it doesn't work that way. The only way is to not objectify it. So this means that the moment you become aware of a worry, aware of a confusion, aware of something hurt you, so you become aware of a problem, immediately be aware that the awareness itself, which is the seer, is the reality of you. If the seen, which is the problem, the confusion, whatever you're making real in the mind, the moment you think that is real, You objectify it. The moment you objectify it, in other words, it has gained solidity, and now it controls you. You see? So it's a very, very simple thing. Someone says to me, Burt, I am confused. Okay, I don't try to give him a solution to the confusion, because there are no answers in life. We kid ourselves into thinking there are when we study psychology or go into it, but there aren't any, really. When you go into your real nature, which is pure awareness, which is pure being, and you abide as that, that very abidance itself will not objectify the so-called problem in the mind. And by leaving it as it is, not trying to control it, not try to overcome it, not try to change it in any way, and you abide as the seer, the seen will not objectify itself, and it will simply melt away. Because you see, the seer is always at peace. The seer is joy, the seer is gratitude, because it's nothing. It's not something tangible. It hasn't been objectified. It just is. You see, if you were to, you say, how can I experience the heart? It's very simple. Sit very still, close your eyes. Now get rid of everything. Get rid of what you think your identity is. Get rid of yourself as a person. Get rid of yourself as your name, what you believe, the past, everything. See just emptiness. Now people get scared doing that. But do it only for 3-4 minutes, okay? What happens after you get rid of everything? All mental pictures, your self-image, your expectations, give it all away. Just be blank, nothing. What happens as you abide as that? You begin to feel good. You feel relaxed, you feel joy, because that is the nature of you. You are the seer, not the seen. I hope you got this, because if you do, it will be such a revelation.